Hello, I'm Marcy Bridges with the Office of Special Education and Early Learning. Welcome to this presentation of UDL Engagement, Welcoming Interests and Identities. So far, we have discussed an overall introduction of UDL in the initial video of this series titled UDL 101, Overview and Classroom Application. We also discussed UDL's first principle, engagement, in the second presentation, titled UDL Engagement Overview. These videos can be accessed via the QR codes on the screen or on KDE's Instructional Resources webpage. To review, UDL is a way to present information in multiple formats and with high interest options, allowing students to demonstrate their knowledge in a method of choice. UDL includes three main principles: engagement, representation, and action and expression. Engagement, which focuses on the why of learning, stresses the importance of interest and identity, sustaining effort and persistence, and emotional capacity. Today's video will spotlight the importance of interest and identity in the classroom. Interest is a large part of engagement and can spark excitement and curiosity for learning. Without engagement, students will not be able to be attentive, and knowledge will not be accessible in the moment, nor in the future, because it won't be noticed or processed. According to French neuroscientist and professor at the College of France, Stylianos Duhan, attention and active engagement are two of the four pillars of learning. Without first gaining the learner's attention, and in turn, the learner being actively engaged in their learning, there will be no retention of the information. Because learners differ in what attracts their attention, it's important to have various ways to recruit interest and engage them. This may be best achieved by knowing your students. Who loves animals? Who prefers to draw? Who can write poetry or lyrics? Think of their learning styles as well. Are there students who work best alone, but with encouragement, will join a group? Is there a student who will shut down when asked to work with others? Knowing your students' interests and learning styles can help them retain the information being taught. Students don't always get a say in objectives or learning targets, but it can be appropriate to allow students input on how those targets might be reached. Offering learners a choice can develop self-determination, pride in accomplishments, and increase the degree to which they feel connected to their learning. However, it's important to note that individuals differ in how much and what kind of choices they prefer to have. It is therefore not enough to simply provide choice. The right kind of choice and level of independence must be optimized to ensure engagement. Provide learners with as much discretion and autonomy as possible by providing choices in such things as the level of perceived challenge, the type of rewards or recognition available, the context or content used for practicing and assessing skills, the sequence or timing for completion of subcomponents of tasks. Allow learners to participate in the design of classroom activities and academic tasks. Involve learners, where and whenever possible, in setting their own personal academic and behavioral goals. And always remember, what reaches and excites one student won't reach or excite another. Individuals are engaged by information and activities that are relevant and valuable to their interests and goals. In an educational setting, one of the most important ways teachers recruit interest is to highlight the utility and the relevance of learning, and to demonstrate that relevance through authentic, meaningful activities. To recruit all learners equally, it is critical to provide options that optimize what is relevant, valuable, and meaningful to the learner. Vary activities and sources of information so that they can be personalized to learners' lives, culturally relevant and responsive, and ability appropriate. Appropriate for different racial, cultural, ethnic, and gender groups. Design activities with outcomes that are authentic and reflect a clear purpose. Provide tasks that allow for active participation, exploration, and experimentation. Invite personal responses and self-reflection to activities. Learning environments that spark joy and nurture opportunities for play are central to the learning process. Play supports the learning and development of learners of all ages, from young children to adults. Engaging in play can spark curiosity, wonder, and imagination as learners construct new understandings and develop relationships. These acts of playfulness can lead learners to experience a sense of joy that adds to the engagement in the learning process, from early childhood through adulthood. However, not all learners experience joy and play in the same ways. And even the same learner is not going to find joy in the same way every time. A UDL lens reminds us of the variability of every learner and the importance of embedding options and flexibility into the learning environment to support learners to find their own joy. Nurture playfulness in a variety of forms, including but not limited to outdoor play, sensory play, imaginative play, and play through the arts. Incorporate opportunities for exploration, experimentation, and discovery. Create space for learners to find joy through connections to their identities, sense of self, and communities. Create space for learners to take pride in their accomplishments. And incorporate storytelling. One of the most important things a teacher can do is to create a safe space for learners. To do this, teachers need to reduce potential threats and distractions in the learning environment. When learners have to focus their attention on having basic needs met or avoiding a negative experience, they may not be able to concentrate on learning. While the physical safety of a learning environment is of course necessary, subtler types of threats and distractions must be attended to as well. What is threatening or potentially threatening, distracting, depends on learners' individual needs and background. An English learner might find language experimentation threatening, while some learners might find too much sensory stimulation distracting. The optimal instructional environment offers options that reduce threats and negative distractions for everyone to create a safe space in which learning can occur. This can be done by creating an accepting and supportive classroom climate and finding a balance between predictability and novelty. Some examples are charts, calendars, schedules, visible timers, or cues that can increase the predictability of daily activities and transitions. Creation of class routines. Alerts and previews that can help learners anticipate and prepare for changes in activities, schedules, and novel events. Options that can, in contrast to the above, maximize the unexpected, surprising, or novel in highly routine activities. Teachers can also foster a safe environment by varying the level of sensory stimulation through variation in the presence of background noise or visual stimulation, noise buffers, number of features or items presented at a time, variation in pace of work, length of work sessions, availability of breaks or timeouts, or timing or sequencing of activities. Vary the social demand required for learning or performance, the perceived level of support and protection, and the requirement for public display and evaluation. Acknowledge negative experiences within learning environments and take steps such as shared agreements or self-regulation options to make learners comfortable. To show an example of recruiting interest, let's watch this video of a lesson together. After watching, we will discuss some ways in which the teacher gained the interest of the students, made the lesson relevant, and provided the why of the lesson. Please remember, even though this lesson is set in a high school classroom, the strategies provided can be used in any classroom. Oh, hey guys, I was just checking out the pictures we took. I took at the zoo last week. Do you guys remember? We went to the Louisville Zoo and saw the baby.
Yeah,
It was so much
I
fun.
remember.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? We saw so many new babies. They had a big baby boom, I think, this summer. So we got to see all kinds of babies. Were there any that was, who had a favorite?
Oh, definitely. I love the baby gorilla. It's
No.
so like, it's crazy like how his little face looked. I mean, he looked like a human sort of,
Right?
you
I
know?
think
I mean, not totally, but yeah.
yeah, I think it's something about their eyes, maybe. They're so similar to ours. Yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah, I think it's their eyes. That's really how it makes it look human. And I think their hands too, how they use their
Mhm.
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Um, I really like the baby addicts. That
Mhm.
was really cool. And it reminded me kind of like a baby deer that I see at my papa's house when I'm in the country.
Yeah, look, so cute. I love
Yeah.
that
Oh,
he
they're so
doesn't
cool.
have his horns yet. Mama's got horns, but he doesn't have those yet. So,
Oh, yeah. He'll grow them later, I guess.
yep. Yeah.
Well,
Anybody?
I think the best was the baby wallabies. I mean, they're so cuddly. I just wanted to cuddle them.
Cutest little things.
Yeah,
They look so
yeah,
much like
I
a
remember
kangaroo,
those
you know?
too.
Yeah, they were adorable.
Yeah.
So, so cute. So today, what we're going to do is continue to build on what we learned from our talk with the zookeeper at the zoo the other day about specific genetic traits that animals have. We're going to be starting a new genetic trait project. And so that's why we're doing this. And that's why we went last week. So we could talk about some of this and work it in there. Okay. So who can remind us why genetic traits run in families? The zookeeper shared some really good information about this when she told us about breeding pairs. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I kind of remember. So it's like the babies get their genes from their parents, you know. So the zookeepers, well, like the staff at the zoo, they try to pick parents that are like in pretty good shape. Like, so that means like they have good traits to pass down.
Mhm.
And that keeps, let me think, that keeps it like more healthy, like the whole herd or the group, whatever kind of animal it is. And like she told us, like if she had a gorilla, that they had some genetic trait that kept it from living a long time, they probably wouldn't breed that one because that one would be like, uh, that would like, let me see. I wrote some things down. Yeah,
Okay.
it would be like causing the population to go down, whereas they're trying to make it like go up, like keep more of those animals.
Right. Yeah, exactly, Angela. Very good. That's an awesome, yeah, good memory. All of that is true. So we inherit traits from our parents as well, right? Just like the animals do. I inherited my green eyes from my dad, actually. Yeah, everybody tells me my eyes are just like his. Inheritance of traits can follow a
That's cool.
predictable pattern. Do you guys remember the Mendelian inheritance stuff? Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah, that's the guy with that grew all the peas, right? He
Yeah,
knew all about
exactly.
peas.
Yep. Do you remember we studied this a few weeks ago?
Oh, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
The guy with the peas. Exactly. Yep.
yeah, the guy with the peas, just
Yep.
like Jordan said.
Yeah. So he studied the peas. He kind of mapped it out, like I just showed you. And you'll have this in your tablets too, in case you want to use it for your presentations in a little bit. Okay. So he talked about how those different traits can be passed down from generation to generation. And even though that was plants, it works the same in the animal community with us or with the non-human animals we saw at the zoo. We have dominant and recessive. Do you guys remember those words? We've talked about those before. So let's do a quick
I
vocab
think
check.
so.
What do you remember about alleles?
Oh, wait a minute. I think, um, let me look.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can check.
alleles are like different varieties, like a variant of a gene.
Yes, perfect. Very good. Okay, so
Yeah.
then what are genes?
Uh, I think I know. Genes are like your DNA sequence, like there's a like that makes the order in the DNA, something
Yes,
like
genes.
that.
Perfect. Yep. Okay, speaking of DNA, who can tell me about DNA?
Uh, well, I think I know. And I'm going to try and say it too, because DNA is really short, but it stands for, let me think, deoxyribonucleic acid. Hey, I got it. I just love that word. Like it's like a molecule that has information about the genetics in the nucleus. So like,
Very
you know,
good.
the nucleus in the middle of the cell.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Excellent job. I know that is a crazy word to say, but you nailed it. Great job. So we've been
Thanks.
focusing on inherited traits. We know that not every inherited trait is determined by a single gene. We already know that. So your homework will be to select a specific heritable trait and research that with the genetic basis. Okay. The zookeeper gave us a list of various inheritable traits of the animals we saw last week. So, what I'm going to recommend is that you all use one of those. So, you can pull up those lists if you need to. We've already put those in your tablets. Pull that up, um, take a look at that. But if you have a different idea, then I'm open to that as well.
Okay. So then we're gonna create a presentation.
Yeah, or I mean, something else.
Mm.
So, yeah, create a presentation explaining how the trait was inherited, where it is located on the chromosome, and then any potential genetic variations that you can think of. The non-negotiable, so what you have to do is that you must include a Punnett square, and it has to fit the rubric. And I've uploaded your rubrics as well onto your tablets. So it has to meet the rubric. You have to include a Punnett square. The negotiable is how you choose to create, how you create your presentation. So, we've got Canva, we have PowerPoint. You could draw it out on regular paper, pencil paper. You could do a comic strip. You've got some options there. Okay.
Wow. So, okay, there's some things we definitely have to do, but um the way the way we present it is kind of wide open. So like can I do like a dance about it? Like if it
Yeah. If it
covers it?
Yeah, if it fits the rubric, if you can figure out how to get some of this really like scientific information and put it into a creative dance, yeah, I think that would be awesome. Just, yep, make sure you keep looking at that rubric so that it fits that. Okay.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll make sure I look at the rubric.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
I don't think so. I'm definitely going to have something about DNA in there.
Yeah, definitely. That's good because that's an important piece of this whole thing. Okay, I'm going to come around and check you as we're working. Otherwise, yeah, get started. Everything's on your Chromebooks. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
we're ready.
All right, get started. In the video, the teacher gained the student's attention and promoted interest from the beginning by showing the visual. A real-world connection was also provided by reminding the students of their trip to the Louisville Zoo. The teacher also took a few moments to remind the students what the recent focus of class had been, discussing the Mendelian P experiment. Expectations were stated more than once, using phrases such as "today you will create," and discussing the non-negotiable and the negotiable aspects of the lesson. And finally, providing a choice for the students to submit their assignments. In the next video of the series, the focus will be on sustaining effort and persistence, which consists of 5 secondary principles. Clarify the meaning and purpose of goals, optimize challenge and support, foster collaboration, interdependence, and collective learning, foster belonging and community, and offer action-oriented feedback. For additional information, please see the resources available here. For any questions, please contact me, Marcy Bridges. I can be reached at 502-564-4970, extension 4143, or by email at marcy.bridges@education.ky.gov. Thank you for watching this presentation of UDL engagement, welcoming interests and identities.